Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Habs Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru, Coach Frenchie. Today, episode number 103. What do you have on the menu, Coach? First of all, we're going to skip the series top best 25 under 25 years old. We're going to come back with this tomorrow because we have a special episode with all things happening with the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, we're going to talk about the transaction between the Montreal Canadiens and the Calgary Flame. We're going to talk about Carey Price situation. Then we're going to talk about the new player, Sean Monahan. Of course, we're going to give you another update of the World Junior Championship. And at the end, I'm going to talk about the different news around the NHL. So don't go nowhere. Here we go. But before we start, you know the drill. If you've been here before, please click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and below this video, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the episode number 103. And let's dive in about the first subject of the day. Here we go, guys. We have a trade between the Calgary Flame and the Montreal Canadiens. This is the third time since Ken Hughes is the manager of the Montreal Canadiens make a trade with the Calgary Flame. And this one is about the Montreal Canadiens got from the Flame Sean Monahan and a first round pick 2025, where it's a bit complicated about the situation about this pick. We're going to talk about this a bit later. In return, Montreal sent what? Mr. Future Consideration. Oh my God, again, Future Consideration is involved with a trade. Why the reason the Calgary does this? Because they signed Nathan Kadri and they have to some money on the salary cap. And the best thing to do for them, they have to send Sean Monahan. In return, they have to put another asset, and they have to give a first-round pick. Here, the point about this trade, like I mentioned, Sean Monahan and the first-round pick 2025. Again, he did it. The Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon, the Hugo duo, did another great move for the Montreal Canadiens. If you're not happy about their performance since they are working with the Montreal Canadiens, I don't know what you're looking more, because right now, every time they make a trade, they always win that trade so far. Here's my another point here. Montreal, the reason they win, they got a first round pick in 25. Then here's the situation with Monahan with his option. If he's healthy, he can play with the Montreal Canadiens. If he's not, he can become now and go on the long-term injury reserve. Then if he's healthy and he's doing well, it could be another option for the Montreal Canadiens, trade him at the deadline in February, or they could keep him and resign him at the lower price season 23-24. This is all option for Ken Hughes, and that gives you an idea why I said the Montreal win that trade. Again, they did it. How are they going to go now with the salary cap? Because with the $6.3 million of Monahan, this complicates the situation. Yes, you are right. That's complicated the situation, but really sad and bad news from Ken Hughes during his press conference. What are you talking about? That brings me, guys, for my next subject. And my next subject, guys, is Carey Price. Ken Hughes announced Carey Price is going to be on the long-term injury reserve. He does not expect him to play next season. For what he said yesterday, the situation with Carey Price is the same it was a couple of months ago. And the way he tried to come back did not change anything. Still swollen. The knee is not better. It's not worse. He's on the same level he was before. And for this reason, they does not believe he will coming back next season, Carey Price. So what's the next option for Carey Price? But obviously, if ever he want to come back in NHL, and maybe only for his health, he need a surgery. And that's involved about 8 to 12 months for recovery. So this is not a great news. If you see now with Monahan contract with Carey Price on a long-term injury reserve, that gave Montreal Canadiens $4 more million on the salary cap. That gave them enough money to sign Kirby Dack and Caden Primo. So this is going to be a little bit better for that situation for Primo and Dack. The big red flag possible, this is the end of Carey Price and NHL. That's the sadness about this news for Carey Price yesterday from Ken Hughes. Because of that situation, Montreal will be okay with a salary cap now with Carey Price. We don't know yet what could happen with Paul Biron, and possibly Sean Monahan go back on the injury reserve. I'm going to talk about this a bit later. Overall, guys, Carey Price is not a great news. This could be mostly to be the end of Carey Price as a hockey professional player. Let's move on now for the next subject of the day. It's about Sean Monahan, the new player for the Montreal Canadiens. He said during the press conference with the media in Montreal last night, he feels good so far. My both hip, I'm great. My wrist is good. And I skate every day with Jake Evans. I know personally Paul Biron. They are the two players I know on that team. But it's amazing. Many other teammates for the Montreal Canadiens reached me by text the last hour. And I feel great to play for the Montreal Canadiens for the upcoming season. Now he said, look, right now I expect to be ready for the main camp. And then we can go from there because you never know what could happen. Worst case for me, I feel like if he's not ready or maybe have a setback, the Montreal Canadiens could start the season with him on the long-term injury reserve. It's not a problem. If he's ready, guys, and he feels great, he's a part of the roster, and he will be like at the bottom six as the center, and that will give them for the Montreal another players. So for me, Sean Monahan is excited to be a Montreal Canadien after I watched his press conference. He feels like he's ready to play for the upcoming year. And worst case, does not work, he can go to long-term injury reserve and could turn around to be another great asset for the Montreal Canadiens like Jonathan Drouin, Dadonov, Paul Biron, to be now trade deadline next February to get something in return. This is all the option possibility about Sean Monahan. Will going to be interesting to watching him with the Montreal Canadiens for the upcoming season. Let's move on now for the next subject of the day. So let's talking about the World Junior Championship 2022. Yesterday, no game on the program because today we have two games. This is the semifinal. First of all, Canada play against Czechia. The first game between both teams, Canada won by the score of 5-1 on the preliminary round. Then we have Sweden versus Finland. We know the rivalry between both countries. This will be another match to watch for sure. What is your prediction, coach? I thought Canada was supposed to play against USA, so let's have a mulligan here. And let's starting with Team Canada is going to play against Finland, I believe, for the gold medal. And let's move on for the last subject of the day. It was a busy day in NHL yesterday. First of all, we know the trade between the Calgary Flame and the Montreal Canadiens, but it was not over yet for the Calgary Flame. What are you talking about? But the Calgary Flame signed the UFA Nazem Kadri for 7 years at $7 million for a total of $49 million. Unbelievable turnover. Again, Lou Lamoriello, another strikeout for him, and Kadri decided to go with the Calgary Flame. This is a great signature. Many people talk about maybe it's too long for the contract. I understand, but Calgary is really focusing right now for the present. So they're focusing for this year, next year, and the following year. We know with Huberdeau and Kadri, with the longevity of the contract could be hurt at the end. But right now, Calgary is really focusing to winning at this moment. The next news, guys, I want to talk about is a bit different because I want to talk about the NHL decide to go all in Nashville next season. What are you talking about? They gave the award ceremony and the NHL Draft 2023, all this in June 2023 in Nashville, the 28th and the 29th. Of course, we're going to follow the NHL Draft. Finally, the last news of the day is coming from the New Jersey Devils. They sign as an assistant coach. They hire, honestly, Sergei Bretlin with the team for the Devils for upcoming season. This is the last one for the head coach Lyndon Ruff on the staff coaching for the New Jersey Devils. Here we go, guys. This complete another great episode of the Habs Daily News with your hockey coach, girl code friendship. But before we leave you, we want to remind you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and definitely leave me a comment about the episode number 103. And, you know, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody.